Everybody good? Jacolby, Criswell.
How are y'all?
Doing good.
Question is, how are you? And what's the mood?
I'm good. I mean, obviously, right after a loss, you're kind of bummed because you're in the game and you have a chance to win, and it just doesn't happen. It doesn't go your way. I mean, I feel great though, physically, mentally, feel great. Just wish we would have came out with the win.
When we talked about, you hit on some positives. One of them is that finding the identity of the offense with you at quarterback. You feel like you took some steps forward there today?
Yes, sir. I feel like I've grown the last 3 weeks, and that's what it all comes down to. I really feel like this team is growing the last 3 weeks. Obviously, you go through QB changes, and you have to figure out, okay, what's our identity now? And we're continuing moving forward, and we're finding that out as we continue to go.
Jacolby, do you feel like, to sort of use a video game term, you feel like you've 100%ed the playbook at this point? Like, you sort of know it as if you've been here longer than you actually have?
I'd say I have a good grasp on it. I mean, he gives me a new play, kind of remember it from the old times. Obviously, here and there, he has nipped it up quite a bit. But I mean, for my mentally stand of the playbook, I feel like I'm there. I can be a lot better there. Continue to grow with that as he continues to give me new plays as we go. But yes, sir.
Coach Brown and Elijah, who were in here before, they were saying that they're getting there. Like, the steps are being taken, and like, you know, Pitt, Duke, and James Madison, those are all good teams, and you're sort of getting closer to where you want to be by the end of the season. It seems like you feel that way too, right?
I do 100%. You can look on offense. We're pretty much a young team. We have a lot of guys on our line that hasn't played much, besides Willie, and we're still trying to figure that out, trying to figure out, okay, where do we need to take the next step at? Like, how do we get better in the pass game? How do we get better in the run game? How do I get better? Things like that. And we're finding that out each and every week. Obviously, you have positives throughout a game, then you have negatives. So the next step is, okay, let's build on those positives. Obviously, let's work out these negatives.
Jacolby, how deflating were the 2 trips inside the 10 where you guys didn't come away with any points? You had the one in the first half, and then obviously the one in the fourth quarter seemed rather huge. I mean, obviously they seemed like killers. How deflating were they?
I'd say, I mean, those are typically different plays just because it's 4th and 1, it's 4th and 2, and you have to score. You're in the red zone. I feel like we didn't convert on one of those, and I feel like the very first one, we didn't change our mood. It was like we still have a lot more ball games to play. The second one, that was just a devastating one because you're cracking back on points that they just scored, and so you have to score now, change the momentum. And we didn't execute. We didn't execute as my part. O-line didn't execute, and we just have to continue to grow and just realize when we're in a position like that, we have to give it all we have.
Just watching it live, I mean, you know what I'm saying, we were watching it live. It looked like Memorial might have run into Banfield. Is that what you saw?
I agree. Obviously, you can't overturn the refs. Wish you can sometimes, but you can't. But
You can do whatever you want to do.
but I mean, it's their way, and their way is what they call. And you think, okay, we got that yard, but at the end of the day, it's not what you think. And obviously, I saw it. It can be a coin toss from there. You never know. So I mean, I'm not going to put my input on what I thought, just because, like, even if it doesn't matter, I mean, still went one way.
Jacolby, to stay on those 4th downs, Matt was talking to us earlier and was saying he did kind of know going in that you guys would probably, try to go for touchdowns more so than the field goals. I guess as an offensive unit, how much does he communicate that to you guys, beforehand, like in the week during game of, if we get in 4th and short, or if we get in these situations, we're going to go for that 4th down more often than not?
Yes, sir. That's something we emphasize pretty hard, where sometimes in different areas of the drive, he'll be like, okay, we have 2 more downs here. And that alerts me, okay, I don't have to go for the big play. I can get the little play. I have 1 more down left. So, I mean, he emphasizes that a lot, especially when we're in red zone. We want touchdowns. Field goals is always great to have, but I mean, that's not as many points as a touchdown. And so for me, I really have to execute down there and get us in the end zone.
It looked like you ran the ball a little bit more today, and you had a couple of design runs, called runs. Was that one of the new things added this week as part of finding the identity of the offense, knowing that you can run a couple of those QB draws?
I feel like we all kind of knew I was able to do it. It was just a matter of time when's the right team? Like, who's going to give us that opportunity? And they gave us an opportunity, and so we took it, and it worked really well for us throughout drives. And I feel like that's something we're going to also lean on as we continue.
Did Nate McCollum open your eyes today?
I knew Nate was a dog from the moment I met him. Actually, whenever I was here 2 years ago, I reached out to him, was like, hey, like, because he was in I think he was in Port, I'm not 100% sure on it, so, but at the time I think so, and I was like, hey, like, you wanna come here? But I mean, things turned around, he's here, I'm here, so he didn't come when I wanted him to, but he's here now. But I knew Nate was a dog, and he showed that today. He's a great player, he's a guy, you give him the ball, he's gonna make a play, and as time keeps going, that's one of the guys we can rely on.
But I'm saying, it seemed like the burst was even, like it was more burst to what he had going on today, I felt.
Oh yeah, like I said before, when you give him the ball, he knows where the end zone is, and he didn't find the end zone today, but he got us a lot of yards, and that's something we can really rely on, and give him short yard plays, and let him make big yard gains out of it.
Jacolby, that drive they had in the fourth quarter, you guys had just held the fourth down. They took it, they held it for about 7 minutes before you guys were able to get it back, and they ended up with the field goal. What was kind of going through your mind as you were kind of watching them, kind of sticking on the sideline and kind of eating up that clock before you guys were able to get it?
So as soon as they got past probably the opposite 30, in our minds it's 1 minute drill. We have to go score quick, no sacks, get the ball out, and execute from there. And I'd say honestly, the one that I did get sacked on, great play call. They just happened to have the great defense for it. And me thinking it's third down from what I saw. And so I'm thinking, okay, it's either I throw this ball out or someone gets open, and they got to me. And that's on me. I mean, like I said, it's my third start, so I still have ways where I can learn and continue to improve, and that's just something I have to do better.
Jacolby, these are all different kinds of losses that you guys have suffered from JMU to today. If you could take a reading or a gauge on just the morale in general of this group, where would you say you guys are? I'm sure the frustration is higher than you would like it to be, but or maybe not. How would you gauge sort of the morale of this group?
I'd say
right
it's still in signs of, okay, we have to get better, and we still have a long season left. We can still accomplish the things we want to accomplish, and we're not going to shy away from that. Like I said last week, I believe in these guys. The guys believe in me. The coaches, we all believe in each other. So it's just taking that next step of finding our identity and figuring out how we can come out with these wins. I mean, the last 2 ball games have been very close, and it's like, what's the next step? What do we have to do? Is that watching more film? Is that doing the extra? And so it's just things like that we have to figure out from ourselves and from within us, and taking that next step and moving forward. And once we do that, then we're gonna have a pretty good ball team.
Is it a little bit more challenging to believe those things when you lose 1 and 2 and then 3?
Oh no, sir. I mean, for me personally, like, I've grown into a football family. So, I mean, my dad as coach, I've seen a lot of his games growing up, and he's had games where they lost 5 in a row, but he's always given them faith, like, don't give up. And so he's instilled that in me, and I'm going to instill that in the guys. You never know. You never know when your last play is going to be. So don't give up now. And that's just something I was always taught since I was young. And I feel like the team, as in general, they just want to go. They just want to continue to get better and get these ball games running the way they should be.
Looked like you took a bunch more shots today. The midsection.
Yeah, I did. I mean, it's football. I mean, I'm going to take some shots. I mean, you see those shots and everyone wants to blame it on online, but look at the guy holding the ball. And I got to do better on my part. Those guys are doing what they need to do, and I need to do what I need to do. And as time keeps going, that's something I will be better at. And I won't say the O-line is, everyone's going to say O-line is doing this, oh, it's a bad O-line, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, it's the guy holding the ball back there, and I just have to do better.
All righty. Thanks,
Jacolby.
Jacolby.
Appreciate it.